welcome to a productive vlog here. I call this series sometimes Chores and Chats because I can get some stuff done that I need to get done, and we can also chat, and I'll just bring you along with me. Hopefully you're into that. If you are new here, my name's Jessica. Welcome on in. I do a lot of vlogs like this here on my channel. If you're into that, definitely subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos to come. So today I need to get some daily stuff done, like folding a load of laundry, doing some dishes, but I also have some specific tasks that I have been putting off. So I hope this serves as inspiration for you. If you've got a certain thing you need to organize or a pile to go through or whatever, and you've been putting it off for months, do it. You're gonna feel so good. And I'm hoping I get it done today in this video and I feel so good too. There is that pile of junk that some of it's important paper, some of it's random. I've put it in a room where I wouldn't see it very often, and that pile has grown into a monster that I need to tame today. We're gonna tackle it because if I don't, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. So I'm forcing myself to do it in this video. But first, I'm pretty hungry. I am gonna make some eggs. I eat eggs many days a week. It's like one of my favorite foods. If you didn't know, I'm sure most of you know. So we're gonna have a quick little breakfast and then we'll get started. So I wanna thank Caraway for sponsoring this part of the video. So we recently upgraded our pans to Caraway pans, and we had been using the same old pans for quite a long time. They were definitely worse for wear. I was starting to notice bits of it kind of scrape up, even though we were using the right tools with it. And it got me thinking, I'm like, what's even in this? Is it scraping into our food? And so I was very excited to try Caraway out, and we've been using it a while now. Both Tyler and I love it, and we both love to cook. So if you've never heard of Caraway, it is a non-toxic kitchenware brand. They offer high quality kitchen essentials. They offer so much more than what I'm gonna show you today. But I love that no matter what the material is made of, you can be assured that you're cooking on something that is clean and sustainable. So Caraway's pans use a natural ceramic coating, which is 100% non-toxic and naturally slick. So you can use very little oil or butter and you're gonna get the like slide out of the pan eggs. It is super easy to clean. That was the first thing Tyler remarked on. He was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy to clean. So we're gonna toss our eggs in there. I just put a little bit of butter. So one thing that I learned is that PFOAs are a manufactured chemical. It's often been used to make products that'll help things resist heat, water, grease, things like that, like sticking to the pan. But a lot of studies have found that exposure to high levels of that could actually affect growth and development. It can cause liver problems, reproduction problems. So that's one of many toxic chemicals. That's scary enough when you're cooking in a pan all of the time, many meals for your family. So Caraway cookware is free of these harmful chemicals and other toxic materials, which I love. And again, it is very non-stick, which is incredible, especially with eggs. I mean, look at that. Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, look at that. It is amazing. Okay. Bon appetit. So I recommend getting the cookware set like I did. It comes with the saute pan, fry pan, Dutch oven, and saucepan, plus lids for all of them. It's got a lid holder and magnetic pan rack for storage. So this will save you 20% off versus buying them individually. So if you're wanting to swap out your pans for an upgrade for Caraway's non-toxic cookware set, you can actually get 20% off. Plus you can stack that with my code, which is JamBeauty, to get an extra 10% off of your order. I will have the link in the description box and a pinned comment. Thank you so much, Caraway, for sponsoring this part of the video. So one of the questions I was asked was how the deck is coming along. It is complete. I didn't realize I hadn't shown you the completed deck, so let me show you. So last time we showed it, it was almost there, but we do still want to get some chairs for here, just like 2 or 3, because it's kind of like a almost standing height type bar top. And we were even talking about how nice it would be to just sit out here and work, looking out, facing that way. And then he added stairs here, and then we've got our old rug here, which I love these kinds of outdoor rugs, by the way, the like plasticky straw. It dries so fast. And then we've got all of our Costco things. Our Costco table, we don't have our cushions on because it was raining yesterday, but our little Costco set here we've had for quite a while. So this is where he bumped it out there, kind of like in a hexagon-ish shape. I love it. It's given us so much more room over here. And then Tyler has his Blackstone down in a different area right now, but he's gonna move it here so he can grill up on the deck. We just haven't done it. And then this little staircase leads down to the garden over there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We've got our cushions stored in there for now, and we have not hooked up our bistro lights we had we're trying to figure out what we want to do with that. So they're just kind of lingering there. But like I said, our old rug, I just need to cut these off. We probably should eventually replace this, but I mean, the deck was a big expense, so we're like just holding off. But yeah, we are so happy with it. It's the Trex deck. I don't think I said that yet in this video, and we love it. Okay, we're gonna start with some laundry here. I really should have done the dishes right away, but I am not feeling like doing the dishes right now, to be honest. Having one of those days that it's like hard to get your energy up. You ever feel like that? So, gonna fold some towels. So I pulled some questions from you guys from an Instagram post. So Sarah asked, love the deeper side you're showing us. Do you get feedback from anyone in your personal life? So what she's referring to is, I posted this video recently. Okay, that is way too close to me. Back it up. I recently posted a video about this idea called matrescence. And so I'm not gonna get into it because I get into it in that video if you wanna check it out. But it definitely was really a deeper message in the video, and I did a lot of research, and I also almost didn't post it. I kind of went back and forth on like, anytime you go into certain subjects, you're opening the door for people to take it the wrong way, for people to feel a certain way, whatever. So anyway, I literally said a prayer before posting it and making it live that it would reach the right ears. And I do think it has. Like, your guys' comments have made me so emotional on that video. Anyway, so when I dive into deeper topics like that, like, do people in my own life see them? Do they talk to me about them? Sometimes I will bounce ideas for videos like that off of my friends and family. So I had actually talked about that topic with 2 different friends and one of my sisters and kind of got their take on it too, which I think is kind of helpful because it helps me glean, like, to hear different people's stories about whatever the topic might be. But I definitely will get people like my mom or my mother-in-law that will watch videos of mine and maybe ask me, or like my mom will sometimes say like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way about XYZ, because sometimes they're topics that you just don't naturally come up in conversation, you know? So it's kind of cool in that way because I'm able to share parts of my life that maybe my mom or family members can see, and most of my family, I wouldn't say watch my videos, but I know my mama does. Thanks, Mom. And I know my mother-in-law does too. Thanks, Benita, Blue Nana. Feedback, I would say no, but just sometimes I'll have just one of my friends text me, be like, hey, I watched that new video, blah, 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 or hey, you know, what's a dupe for that product you recommend? You know what I mean? Things like that. So it's just kind of a mixed bag, I guess. Jess Marie Snyder asks, what does your weekend routine look like? I'm talking chores, wake up, then what? You know what? That's a great question. I feel like I would be interested to hear what anyone's weekend is like. And I'm sure many of you guys would feel the same as me. No 2 weekends are the same. But if it's a weekend where we like genuinely have no plans, like it's just one of those, to me, amazing weekends where you're home, you can maybe get some stuff done, you can relax on your porch, you can, you know, whatever. So, of course, we have a 2 and a 6-year-old, so relaxing, we do try to find times to relax, but, you know, with the 2-year-old especially, it's not as easy unless she is napping. I would say most Saturdays we wake up and we have coffee, usually make breakfast, something Tyler loves to cook on the weekends. He loves to cook just the same as I do, and he's very good at it. So a lot of times, you know, maybe I'll make pancakes or he'll make, he made crepes. I think, was it Saturday or Sunday? I think Saturday morning. He made crepes, so we typically just kind of putz around the house for a few hours on a Saturday morning with the girls. Maybe we'll play in the backyard. Eventually, Felicity takes her nap, and so during that time we might get a couple things done. Sometimes I'll go to the grocery store and take Genevieve with me. So then Tyler, he usually has a project or two he's wanting to work on, so I'll take her with me. We'll go to the grocery store, things like that. Sometimes I'll just order groceries. You know, it just depends. I would say Saturday night is if we're hanging out with friends, it's usually on a Saturday evening and they might come over and we'll grill out, or we'll go to their place and we'll take the kids with us. Most of our good friends have kids too, so it's nice because then we can hang out as a family with their family and it doesn't feel like we're always having to find a sitter or anything like that, which I love. But yeah, and then Sunday we usually go to church in the morning, and we did have a habit of getting donuts after church, which is fun, but we haven't done that in a while. I kind of feel like where I live, there is no good donut shop, so I'm feeling, you know, like when I was a kid, there was coffee and donuts after the service. It's just not as common anymore, but anyway. But yeah, there's just no good, great donut shops. There's one that just opened not far, so that's one that's on my list. Maybe this next Sunday we'll try it. But and then Sunday, sometimes we'll see family if it's like a birthday party time, and that's usually on Sundays. But otherwise, those are the days we really try to keep clear so we can relax, the kids can relax. We might go to a park or something. This past Sunday we went to a park and played with the girls and brought Pinocchio, our doggy, with us. Where's the thing? Are any of you guys particular? I am very particular about how I fold a towel, and I memorize, like, wherever the tag is, it's got to go, for me, the way I fold it, in this hand, facing a certain way, and then they're all folded the same way. Probably my weekend looks similar to some of your guys' weekends, you know, and sometimes laundry is involved, of course. Hey, we did it. We actually now use, the girls and Tyler and me, we all use these same towels, which actually has been great because then, I mean, their towels are towels. It doesn't really matter, but it's kind of nice to just have all the same color because then, you know, if we're out in our bathroom, I can go grab theirs. Again, I know the color doesn't matter. A towel's a towel. It's just one of those things, like one less thing to worry about. All of us have the same towels. All right, doing a little laundry. I've still got my over-the-door little things that hang so I can put towels or like little washcloths. A lot of these are like cleaning towels, but you just open the bottom and you dump it in. Amazon. One of you guys asked if I prefer like a top or a front-loading like washing machine. I would say I think top. I've had front. I think top does better, but ours does not have that middle agitator thing coming up. And I actually wish it did. I know some will come. I think our friends has a removable one, so you could choose whether you use it or not. But the nice thing about that is that with ours, if we cover the entire, like if we just throw everything in and we don't separate out space for just the middle, it will wash really weird and really loud. Sorry, I know this angle is like hilariously awful. In the end, I wish we had the agitator because then we wouldn't need to make the space in the middle for nothing but air because it would already have the space. Does that make sense? So, you know, it's just kind of one of those things, but I love, this is Maytag. I love our washer and dryer. We had quite a lot of washer and dryer woes. These are incredible. They're like workhorse, but really nice quality. Like I just, oh my gosh, I love them. Some people are gonna cringe, but I throw my shoes in the washer and Gigi's and mine are both a mess. So I'm gonna spray them. I also got asked what's the best toddler stain treater. I'm almost out, but this right here, again, another Amazon. It is so good. I'm amazed at the things that this will get out. So highly recommend. These I might try to hand wash first. Now looking at them, they are an absolute mess, but I do have like a hand washing thing. So I'm gonna hold off on these, but the kids ones, I throw theirs in the washer because it just is what it is. I do let them air dry though, because I feel like when I dry them, every time without fail, Genevieve will put her feet in and go, no, they're too tight. They feel weird. Something's wrong. So I'm like, it's just not worth it. Let them dry for a few days. And then I also got asked what laundry detergent. We've been getting this from Costco lately. I also really like Molly's Suds. I have some up there too. Like the powder, but this is just such a good deal and I really like it. It's very full. Just went to Costco. I actually don't love this. We bought it in a pinch. This stuff is so good. We've been buying this for like over a year now. The Downy Light in the Ocean Mist. We've tried the other ones. This one's the best. It smells so good. But I need to use this one up. This may look pretty innocuous to you, but this is the pile of doom. Or all kinds of stuff. I also had like random boxes like that just needs to be recycled. These are makeup bags that need to go elsewhere. So it was worse than it is now, but nonetheless, this needs to be tackled because it's driving me insane. All right, we're doing this in my daughter's room because it's brighter and happier in here and it's really dark and dungeony in the other room. So here we are. So yeah, like random things, like a playbill from a long time ago that really either needs to go in, I think we put one in Genevieve's keepsake box, and then I can put one in mine, and then that's all I need to do. Just put it in the keepsake box. So I'm gonna have a keepsake pile. A Mother's Day little thing from Gigi as well. Like that needs to go in the keepsake box, so cute. My old planner that no longer date-wise, like we are past the date. So what do you do with an old planner? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna shut this though because the washer's right there and I have a feeling those little toddler shoes, probably should have put them in a mesh bag. Oh well. Is what it is. Kate asked, is Felicity still in her crib? My son is a couple days younger than her and I'm nervous. Okay, I've gotten this advice from numerous people, including a pediatrician. Keep them in their crib as long as possible. The only, like the main indicator that they need to not be in the crib, I mean, at a certain point, you're just like, okay, they're way too old to be in a crib, sure. But until then, in the lead up, if they're trying to climb out of the crib, that's a good indicator, like, okay, now it's not really safe. If they can climb out of it, you know, probably time for a big kid bed. Until then, having the crib is actually so much safer because when they're at that age, like when they're in their twos, where they don't understand danger as much as maybe a 5-year-old would, or even a 3-year-old, you know what I mean? The idea of them being able to get out of the bed when they wake up and wander around the house or wander around their room or I just don't like that idea. And that's what a lot of people had said. So it keeps them kind of confined until you know they're awake and then you go in and you can get them out. So that's something I think about a lot. Now, obviously, like if you had a kid shortly after having another and you need the crib, well, I mean, then there you go. Like that changes things. But if you don't need the crib for another kid, I feel like holding on to it for as long as it's safe is worth it. Love when you see like a tax thing that's like open immediately and you're like, how long has this been in this pile? Oh my gosh. Spring. Okay, in escrow. That was scary. We have gotta, I mean, this pile is bad. And what's funny is we actually have a really good system for papers where like it's downstairs. We go through it like once every other month. I don't know how these made their way upstairs, but anyway, here we are. Where's a recycling pile? Okay. Helfrich asked, do you have a storm shelter since you live where there are tornadoes? What an interesting question. I've never really thought about someone that doesn't live in like a tornado area would maybe be curious. Just the same as like I would be curious someone that lives in maybe an area more prone to flooding or hurricanes, what you do to prepare. So for us, if there's a tornado, we go in our basement, but growing up, we would go in like the innermost closet of our house. If you don't have like an underground, that's the safest. So away from windows. That's why like an inner room, like a bathroom or closet is great. And then as low as you can go. So we, in this house, have a basement. So we just go in the basement and kind of move away from the windows. And that is actually where we keep our storm preparedness stuff. So we have some food down there. Honestly, just naturally, we just store some food down there. But we also have like a wind up radio. And then that was a more recent purchase. And then we also have some lights that we can use that don't need to be plugged in. We have a little like thing that you can, we charge like every 6 months and it just holds the charge. But you can, I'll link all of these below, but you can charge, you can plug in like a lamp to it. You could plug in your phones and charge them with that and it lasts quite a while. No true storm shelter. I don't know anyone that does, unless maybe you live like out in an older home, like on farmland, and maybe you have one, like thinking like, didn't they have that in The Wizard of Oz, like the little shelter she was trying to get into? Or I haven't watched that in a while. Anyway, no, nothing like that. I don't know anyone that does have something like that personally. What extracurriculars will you put the girls into and when? So I've actually been going through a thing the past week where I'm feeling a little bit of overwhelm from Genevieve's in kindergarten, and already I feel, and if anyone's gone through this, please let me know I'm not alone. I can already feel like all of the parents, like the few parents I should say that I've talked to that are like, oh yeah, my kid's in soccer and karate and XYZ and this, that, and the other. And so on Tuesdays we do this and on Thursdays we do that right after school. And on this, what is your kid in? And I'm like, nothing. She's 6. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like, obviously it's wonderful for them to be involved and I hope that Genevieve does, but it just feels like a lot for this age. And so I don't know, for me, and it's a personal thing. I think part of it is that I grew up not really liking sports. Tyler is not big into sports. We're definitely more creative, literary, like that is both of our strong suits. So, you know, it's just kind of become one of those things that it makes me feel bad, like I'm not doing the right things. Genevieve actually has done a lot of things. She tried Taekwondo for a while. A lot of you guys were asking about that, if she's still doing it. She's not, I do think it was good to do for a while, but she's just not. She wasn't super into it. We were like, okay, why are we driving her all this way a few times a week if she's not really into it? Ballet she's really wanting to do. She was doing within her preschool. So that is definitely something we will probably sign her up for because she has an interest in it. So, you know, it's just kind of one of those things. Eventually she will get involved in different things, but right now I'm trying not to push it just because I feel the pressure from other parents because I'm like, that's not the right reason to have her do stuff. We also need to get back both the girls in swim lessons because Genevieve did them for a while ago, but we definitely need to continue that with her, and then Felicity needs them. So, you know, ooh, this is what I get. I definitely have like this business filing thing that is completely late. This is what I reap what I sow. Okay, so I'm gonna finish going through this. I'm nearly there, and then we'll continue on doing some other stuff. gonna try to tackle these dishes. I got two really interesting questions that I actually think are kind of related that I want to talk about. So Carly asked, what career goals do you want to accomplish in 5 years, 10 years? And then someone else, I figure might want to remain anonymous given the question, but asked, finding a sense of purpose when all your dreams have failed. I do feel like our culture really leans heavily on the idea that you're supposed to have a dream that you're working towards, and that should be like guiding you through life. And I was thinking this morning about, there's this line, okay. There's this line in a Taylor Swift song where, and I'm gonna censor it. She says, all her many lives flashed before her eyes. And the song is not about what I'm talking about, but that line I've been thinking about a lot. And I was thinking about my own life in adulthood, from, let's say, the ages of 18 to now at 35, and thinking about how many different versions of my life I could have right now. You know, think back for yourself, like pause the video, think for a second. Like if you had stayed with that person, what would your life be like today? If you had done that major in college and not that one, if you had taken this trade job, if you had moved to that city, like what would your life look like? And when I think about all the many lives I could have led, I'm very happy I ended where I did, like, or where I'm at right now. I shouldn't say ended, that sounds really dark. I just feel like the really strong emphasis on dreams can almost be detrimental in a way, because for me, it makes me question, like even now, if you were to ask me, what's your dream? Or like that question, what are your goals for 5 years, 10 years from now? That stresses me out. And it always have, because I've never, not that I don't like to set goals for myself, but there's something about one, like setting a goal or having a dream, if you will, for 5 years from now or 10 years from now, that makes me feel overwhelmed, and I can't explain it. I think part of me feels like I don't know. And because I don't know, then I feel like, well, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's wrong with me that I don't have a dream, or that see, that sounds really sad, doesn't it? But I don't mean it in a sad way. I think it's possible to find a lot of joy and peace in life and just enjoy the day-to-day things that come your way, good and bad, and not feel like you're always having to be working towards some big dream that you may or may not have. And so I don't know if that made any sense, but it's just been something that's been on my mind. I've gotten like no dishes put away. So I don't know, goals 5 to 10 years, I really don't know. I'm just kind of content. So the goals I set for myself are different goals. Like I have a goal of, I want to be doing something more active for myself, some kind of workout 5 days a week. I have had that goal for a long time, but I'm really trying to get serious about it. So those kinds of goals I can get behind for myself, but big long-term ones, for me, overwhelm. Anyone else? I guess my point is, I think some people are really goal-driven and some people just aren't. And if you're not goal-driven, I know that's not perfectly answering the initial question, but if you're not someone that's goal-driven, I think that's okay. It has to be okay, right? Someone asked, do you want to do a marathon? No. I know my own body, and I've done half marathons, especially prior to having kids. I'd done a couple of those. Then after having a kid, I don't think I did a half marathon after, but I've done 10Ks. And I feel like that is the perfect challenge for me, because my typical runs are between 2 and 4 miles. And when I say run, I'm like jogging, sometimes walking, like it's just a mishmash, whatever I feel like. But I know my body, and ever since having my first, my hip has never really been the same, and it's actually been feeling great lately. But the more miles I'm trying to do in one stretch, I definitely notice that pain more. And so I feel like I've finally got a system down where I'm not having that kind of pain. I'm doing the right stretches, all of those kinds of things before and after. And so 6 miles is a good challenge, like I said, which is a 10K, but beyond that, I really don't have a desire. I'm not even sure that I have a desire to do a half marathon again. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I think it's more of a, for me, knowing my limits and not pushing it, when I have just as much fun and pride when I do something like a 5 or 10K. So why push it, you know? I also got a lot of questions about like how we handle screen time with the girls, with ourselves. I mean, I think it's one of those, to each their own, like you kind of figure out your own way. We definitely limit it. Like for example, when Genevieve will come home from school, she's had a day. You know what I mean? It's hard to go to school, especially at that age. And so I feel like she needs to just relax and unwind. So we'll chat for like 15 minutes while she has a snack and she'll tell me about her day. And then she'll usually watch like a 20-minute episode of something. Felicity usually will watch that with her and they just kind of relax together. Then we'll go outside and play or go play a game or whatever. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I definitely feel like there's good quality programming out there. It exists. It doesn't always have to be, you know, these awful high, what's that term? Not high volume, but like the high, it's gonna drive me nuts. I just feel like there is good quality shows out there that are educational. They're not so like in your face, bright, crazy. I cannot think of the term. It's gonna drive me nuts. Anyway, my point is, I think you can use it really wisely and use it as a tool. Instead of having them watching it, you know, for 4 hours straight, use it when you need to. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong. I used to feel guilt when I would use it. But when I was using it, it was either because I was about to have a meltdown or because I'm like, I need to get these dishes done or I've got to get, you know what I mean? You still have to live your life as a parent and get things done around the house. So I think trying to remove the guilt from when you do use it, it's okay. I feel like some people can be very black and white about it, and good for you. Like if you use no screen time at all with your kids, if you whatever, good for you. But for me, me and my house, it is definitely a tool that we will use when we need to. And I don't feel guilty about it because we're not going crazy with it. And, you know, we're using it for a reason. That being said, screen time for Tyler and me, we've definitely talked a lot about this recently. He's better than I am at leaving the phone in the other room and like not even having it in his eye line. I definitely can be the person that brings it around to rooms with me. So I've definitely gotten better about that because I've noticed when it is out of sight, it really is out of mind. Like if I don't see it, I don't have that like urge to grab it. Whereas when it's right there, you know, it's easy to just grab it like, oh, the kids are happy playing for 2 minutes. I'll just pop on my Instagram and look. Why? You know what I mean? Just spend that time dedicated. And if you ever want to scare yourself, look at your screen time and then do the math to figure out how many days of the year you have wasted on your phone. Because if that will knock things into gear for you. I mean, that works for me, is I'll see like, oh my gosh, I've spent X amount of hours average per day and then times that by 365, like how many days in a year are you spending? And then you can go crazy and find out for the rest of your life, like how many years of your life you're spending on your phone. That's really scary. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna finish these because I very clearly cannot do both at the same time. I'll be back. So one of the questions I was asked was, what's on my like fall wish list? Or what are those things we try to do every fall? Obviously go to a pumpkin patch. I want to try a new one this year just because I feel like we've gone to the same couple. And so I want to look and see, even if we had to travel a little bit farther, see what else is out there. Because there are some that are so great that they don't necessarily nickel and dime you. You can go in and enjoy it without paying. And then there are some that you literally can't even enter without paying. I hate those. Don't want to go to those. Because, I mean, if you're there, you're going to end up buying something. You know what I mean? You're going to buy a pumpkin or you're going to buy apple butter from the little shop, whatever. But it is always fun to go to the ones that have like stuff for the kids to do, like a little corn maze or playground, whatever. So definitely that. We trade off. There are like some really cool harvest time events around our town. For a few years, we tried to do all of them every year and it was genuinely just too much. Same with Christmas time. It was too much money we were spending. And I felt like after a few years of going to the same things, we weren't enjoying it. So we decided to kind of take a pause on those for like a year or two and just pick and choose which ones we're doing so that A, we can budget it better, but B, we can like enjoy it more. You know what I mean? And not feel like we're going to constant, I mean, I love fall, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't know what we'll do. One of my favorite things, although it might be sold out, it sells out so fast, is this Harvest Nights thing where they have like all these, it's at this art museum near us, but it's outside and you walk through and there's food and drink everywhere and parts of it are kind of spooky. They have this beautiful light show on this historic building. They have this area of like pumpkins that you're going through that are all lit up. I mean, it is gorgeous. They do a similar thing at Christmas time. So thinking about doing that, we'll see. Another thing, we have a children's museum here that is like world renowned, a really great children's museum. We have to be choosy about when we go because we have never left that museum without getting sick. Like it is not possible. So you have to like plan, like, are we doing anything for the next week if we're gonna go? It's like almost never worth it. But it is amazing. Like it's an amazing children's museum. but they have a cute little like kid-friendly haunted house there that I have not done since I was a kid. I would love to do this year, and so we'll see. The zoo does like a zoo boo thing where the kids can trick or treat, but I have to say our zoo's pretty amazing. However, their zoo boo thing, those kids walk away with like 3 pieces of candy. I'm like, okay, can we give them a little? Obviously I'm eating most of this candy. Like, can we get a little more? It was just so stingy the last time. We were both like, are you serious? And it's not like it was free. We had to pay to get in. So it's just interesting. On the opposite end, Disney's like Halloween party thing, they're giving you too much candy and you're like, how am I gonna fly home with all this candy? Anyways, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this. I thoroughly enjoyed getting some stuff done. I've still got a couple more dishes to finish, but I'll finish it up. I so enjoyed doing this with you guys. Again, I wanted to thank Caraway for sponsoring a part of this video. Again, if you want to save 20% off by bundling, I highly recommend their cookware set. I absolutely love mine. And you can stack my code on top of that to get 10% off, and my code is JAMBEAUTY. I will have the link down in the description box, and thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see my previous Chores and Chats video, I will link it down below. Do I have a playlist yet? I think I've done like 3 or 4 of these. I want to do these way more often because a lot of you guys enjoy them. I know I thoroughly enjoy filming them as well, and then I'm getting some stuff done too, which is great. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.